Hello, welcome to the first episode of this particular series where I will be talking about approval addiction. My name is Toluse Francis, and if this is the first time on this channel, please do endeavor to subscribe to this channel and also turn on the notification bell so you can get to know when every video and any video drops. Okay, so what exactly is approval addiction? To be very honest, I never knew that such a thing existed, right? Yes, I know that it's possible for you to seek approval from people because you want them to approve whatever it is that you're doing, or you want to look good in their eyes. But recently, someone sent me a random message and said, hey, please, can you talk about approval addiction? I said, okay, no problem, let's look at it. So I know about addiction, right? I know about seeking approval, but I never brought both words together to think that there was something about approval addiction. The truth of the matter is one of the things that is expected of YouTube content creators is to research into topics and help people understand whatever it is that they're experiencing. So it's part of what you have to do. You don't just wake up to make a video. You need to research and get to understand what people are talking about. So of course, we know what approval basically means. Approval means that you're seeking the go ahead or the thumbs up of someone. Everybody at some point or some stage of their lives had sought approval of something. Either as a child, you saw the approval of your parents, or you saw the approval of your teacher, or the approval of your siblings. But what I know is, if you're watching this video, you cannot tell me that there was never a time in your life that you sought the approval of someone or a person, whether in position of authority or thereabout. Then what is addiction? Now, addiction is when you realize that you cannot do anything without doing something. When you become dependent on something, it becomes an addiction, and it's a line, right? I like to say it's a journey. So from being a habit, it becomes an addiction, an obsession, and then it becomes what's the third one? A compulsion, right? So when you talk about approval addiction, it is that point where you're so addicted to the approval of others that it becomes difficult for you to do anything at all. Let me show what I have here with you. So it says that when you're addicted to the approval of others by any means necessary, you are going to create a self-imposed emotional prison for yourself. The moment you begin to live your life in a way that you cannot do anything except when you get the approval of people, it becomes difficult for you to do anything whatsoever. And so it's important that we understand this, that you'll be putting yourself in a self-imposed prison. Now, it's self-imposed prison because you emotionally put yourself in that state. You got to a point where you told yourself that there is no way I'm going to do anything or achieve anything if I don't get the approval of this person. And you see, it's understandable because we all at one point or the other, at some time in our lives, want to belong to a certain set of people. I always say that we're created as social beings. We are made as social beings. We are crafted to be social beings. And so we want to interact. We want to belong to groups. We want to belong to cohorts and so on and so forth. We want to be with people who look like us. We want to be with people who look similar to what we look like, right? But the point is, you cannot just do that if you do not understand how to interact and also know when to take a break or when to make a decision yourself, right? So in as much as you want to belong to a group of people, in as much as you want people to accept you for who you are, you must ensure that you don't lose yourself. You must ensure that you don't get to that point where all that you do is people pleasing. Now, people pleasing is one kind of behavior that manifests as a result of being addicted to approval. Underline that word. People pleasing, right, is a kind of behavior that results that manifests rather as a result of being approval addicted or being addicted to approval. And so you always realize that if you realize that anytime you want to do anything, you just want to get the approval of people before you do anything. Now, the truth of the matter is, if you look at people in the world today, anybody who got to that point, anybody who remains at that point of getting approval of people before doing anything never really gets to succeed. Because you need to first of all give yourself the permission to do that. You need to first of all give yourself the permission to be unique. You need to give yourself the permission to be a fantastic person, right? Give yourself the permission to carry out that task and that responsibility. Do you have a vision? Do you have a goal? Do you have something you want to do? You don't have to wait for people's approval. If you wait for people's approval, you won't get complete approval. Why? Because some will think that what you want to do doesn't make sense, while others will think it makes sense. So at the end of the day, you will be shortchanging yourself because you will never get started. Now, other types or other things that might show that you have addiction approval, right, is when you try to get approval by seeking out achievement, right? Try to get achievement and being the best at everything. You just want to be the best at everything. Now, there's nothing wrong with trying to be the best at everything, okay? But when you get to that point and you just want to be the best at everything just because you want people to approve of you, when you get to that point where you're seeking achievement because you want people to clap for you and people to approve what you're doing, then there is a problem. You are edging towards approval addiction. So it's important that you understand that you can be who you are without seeking the approval of people. Your works will speak for you. Your actions will speak for you. But when you carry out those actions because you seek approval is where the problem is. So don't do those things because you seek approval. Instead, do them because you have a goal. You have a challenge that you want to solve. You have a problem that you want to solve. Now, other kinds of approval addicts might focus more on trying to win, while some focus on being performers. So you have those who are performers because they are seeking approval, right? Whereas you have some approval addicts who are those who are always trying to win. So you have these two categories of people, right? And you also have those who just want to blend in, right? Just because they want to get approved, they just try to blend in. We call them names. So you have those that are chameleons, those ones that try to blend in. They just want to blend in just because they want to be approved. You find out that people like these don't have principles. They don't have value system. There's no value system. Just because they want the approval, they just blend in. We call them chameleons, right? And there are some that just don't want to be seen. They don't want to be seen at all when it comes to rejection. So they just want to accept everything and anything that comes their way, right? These ones are called scaredy rats, right? We can call them scaredy rats. I don't like to call people names, so I won't be calling names. So I have given you three categories of addiction, approval addict, right? I've given you those who try to blend in, and I said they are sometimes called chameleons. They just want to blend in. It doesn't matter what is happening there. As long as they know that being with you, you would approve of them. They just blend in. No value system, nothing. You have those who actually, because they don't want to be rejected, so they just go all in. It doesn't matter what is happening. So two things, some blend in, right? They blend in, they blend out. Some just join wholeheartedly. And then you have those in another two sets. They have another two sets rather who in the first set they are performers. They just want to perform, and then with their performance you just see who they are. With their performance you accept who they are. And then you have those who are winners. They just want to try to win because they believe that in winning you're going to accept them for who they are. So you have those who are just performing, who are just showing. They believe that if they show up, we will accept them. And then you have those who really just want to win because they believe that when they win, you're going to accept them. So what are the signs that you have approval addiction? What are some of the signs that we may see? I'll talk about that in the next video. If this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get notified when new videos come up. Till I come your way again next time. Bye for now.